You've probably heard someone say just hide your money offshore, but here's the truth. Hidden money, it's like hiding under the bed during a home invasion. It might feel safer until the door flies open because the IRS has satellites, lawyers have subpoenas, and judges can legally force you to bring your assets back. So what's the real solution? I'll show you how the ultra-wealthy protect themselves legally, not just by hiding, but by making their money lawsuit-proof. So let's get into it. Let's kill a myth right now. Hiding your money offshore is not bulletproof. In fact, most of the time, it's not even legal. Whether it's Panama, the Caymans, Switzerland, or crypto wallets in cold storage, if you're thinking you can just stash your cash and poof, you're untouchable, you're not seeing the full picture. And here's why. Forensic accountants can trace the money trail even through multiple layers of offshore companies. Blockchain analysis. Tools now track crypto wallets globally, linking them to real identities, now more than ever. Next, judges can issue repatriation orders, legally forcing you to bring assets back into the U.S. under penalty of jail. So even if you set up a foreign bank account, if it's in your name or under your control, the court can just say, bring it back. And if you don't, that's contempt of court. Hello, orange jumpsuit. So if hiding doesn't work, what does? Legal separation of control is the key. In fact, I've been in this field for 34 years. I'm the CEO of the Lawyers Limited Law Firm and Asset Protection Planners. And after nearly 3 decades setting up Cook Islands Trust, I'll tell you exactly what the wealthiest people do, not because they're trying to be sneaky, but because they're smart. They don't hide their assets, they legally move them into structures that judges here in the U.S. can't touch. The #1 structure we use is a Cook Islands Trust. Inside that trust, we place a Cook Islands LLC, and that LLC, it holds the offshore bank account. Now here's the magic. When there's no legal threat, you are the manager of the LLC. You keep control, move the money, trade, invest, whatever. But once a lawsuit hits, the trust has a firewall. Here's the trigger. Our licensed bonded Cook Islands Trustee Company law firm steps in to manage the LLC and legally refuse court orders from the U.S. So why does this work? Because the Cook Islands courts do not honor U.S. judgments. There's no repatriation, no contempt, no reverse piercing. So it's not about hiding. It's about legally removing control, and that's what makes it work. And again, we're not talking about just any old jurisdiction. We're talking about the Cook Islands, part of New Zealand, and the most regulated trust jurisdiction in the industry. So here's why hiding can backfire even offshore. Let me show you how hiding can actually hurt you. We had a client, let's call him Tom. He moved money offshore himself into a foreign account in his own name. When the lawsuit hit, the judge asked, do you control the account? Tom said yes. The court said, bring it back. Tom hesitated, and the judge found him in contempt and ordered him jailed until he complied. Now contrast that with Sarah. She used our Cook Islands Trust and LLC structure. When the judge demanded that she bring the money back, her answer was, legally, I cannot. I no longer have the power. The judge couldn't touch it. The lawsuit ended in settlement for pennies on the dollar. So hiding gives you the illusion of safety, but true protection comes from legal separation. Okay, but what if I'm already in a lawsuit? Great question. Timing does matter, and here's the rule. If you're not in a lawsuit, use a Cook Islands Trust. That has a 1 to 2 year statute of limitations on fraudulent conveyance claims. It protects your assets right away. Your opponents have some time to challenge, but we've never seen a successful challenge. Now, if you're already in a lawsuit, you need a Belize Trust. Why? Because Belize has no statute of limitations on fraudulent transfer, zero recognition of foreign judgments, court processes that require the creditor to start over from scratch in Belize. Where Cook Islands resists people who are already in lawsuit, Belize welcomes them. So we use the same structure. Belize Trust, Belize LLC inside, and the Belize LLC holds the offshore bank account. And the account can be in Switzerland, Liechtenstein, Luxembourg, some of the strongest, safest banks in the world. So before the legal fire, You manage the LLC. After the fire starts, the trustee company law firm steps in, a U.S. judge says, bring it back, and you can say legally, I can't, I'm not allowed. Let's get real, offshore isn't for everyone. Now let me be very clear, it is not about tax evasion. Everything that I'm describing is 100% legal and tax compliant. We follow IRS rules, we file FBARs, we report properly and work with your CPA. So this is for people who want to protect their after-tax income, legally earn money from frivolous lawsuits, not dodge taxes. So who's this for? Business owners, real estate investors, high net worth professionals, crypto holders with 500K plus in assets, people going through divorce or business breakups. And if your net worth is under $500,000, there are other lower cost tools that I can recommend, but if you're a target, offshore might be the only line of defense that holds up. So why is the U.S. legal system so dangerous to wealth? Here's a little known fact. The U.S. has over 40 million lawsuits filed each year. That's one new lawsuit every 2 seconds. And we've created the most litigious environment on the planet. Why? Because of 2 words, contingency fees. Lawyers can sue you on behalf of someone else, no money down, and take 30 to 40% of whatever they win. So if you're perceived as wealthy, even if you did everything right, you can still be sued by a tenant who tripped on a step, a customer who spilled coffee, a former partner with a grudge, a complete stranger in a car accident. And once that lawsuit hits, if you haven't set up your defenses in advance, it might be too late. You can't put your seatbelt on and protect yourself after the crash. What about crypto? Yeah, they can find that too. Still thinking crypto is your shield? Let's go ahead and burst that bubble. Yes, crypto can be private, but anonymity is not protection. Blockchain records are forever. So once your wallet is linked to your identity, and it often is, that's it. And in court, a judge can order you to provide your private keys. If you refuse to comply, same story, contempt. So what we do instead, we create an offshore LLC, place the trust inside, we open the crypto exchange account under the LLC. So not your personal name, the LLC. When managed by the offshore trustee post-lawsuit, this becomes the legal manager of those wallets. That means that even if they can find it, they can't touch it. Let me give you a real case. A surgeon came to us, he'd been wrongfully accused in a malpractice case. His insurance only covered part of the claim, and the plaintiff was asking for $6 million. His biggest fear? Losing his investment properties and retirement fund. So he moved his assets into a Cook Islands trust structure. LLCs held his real estate. His savings were moved into an offshore bank account, and we stripped out the equity. When the lawsuit hit 6 months later, we activated the firewall. The court tried to order him to repatriate the assets, but the court couldn't make him do it. The trustee was in charge. The result? The plaintiff's lawyer backed off and settled for the insurance limits. So the doctor kept his properties, his retirement, his peace of mind. Okay, so here's how to get started and what to do now. So if you're wondering, how do I hide my money from lawsuits offshore? Now you know the truth. Don't hide it, protect it legally. Don't delay, set up a plan before the lawsuit. So here's what you can do. Visit assetprotectionplanners.com, talk to somebody on our team, learn if a Cook Islands Trust or Belize Trust is right for you. And if you found this helpful, do me a favor, click subscribe if you haven't, hit the bell so you don't miss the next strategy, drop a comment if you have any questions. We read them all. Because in this world, protection beats reaction, and I'm here to help you stay ahead.